Hello, hello, and welcome to Bla Bla Black Sheep, a weekly yarning podcast where I, Sarah Korth of SEK Handmade, answer your yarning questions. I'm just going to apologize right now. Floofy Boof, the Weston, is, just looks at me like, what, Mom? Laying on the floor. Who knows how long he'll stay there? The truth is, my husband's out of town, and so he's not getting his early morning WALKS. And so he's a little grumpier than usual. I was all gung-ho to take him out myself, but I hurt my shoulder. And I don't know, it worries me that if I take him out, I'll just hurt it more. So we'll see. Anyways, enough about Weston. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to share with you all the things I got for my birthday this week. Well, my birthday was last week, and thank you for all the birthday wishes. So what am I wearing? I am going to wear, are you sick of this yet? My Lumi cowl, because I think the colorfulness of it complements the colorfulness of my shirt, and because it's quite lovely. And there goes Weston. He's going to try to get out there. I don't think he can. Oh my gosh, you were so grumpy. Yep, use your nose. We'll see. He just like, I don't know how you do that. He's just like, at me. Anyways, I'm wearing my Lumi cowl. This is made from scraps of my Lumi shawl, which was my Advent shawl that I made. It is all knitted wit yarn, and I love it so much. I really do wear it all the time because I love all the fun colors. So I'm just going to slip it on over my head and see if I can not cover up my shirt, my new shirt that I got that I really love. So yeah, there we go. I think that's pretty good. Get it back a little bit maybe. Oh, grumpy butt, grumpy butt. Oh goodness, oh my goodness. Links below to Knitted Wit Yarns and to the pattern and to the introduction video if you want to learn more about how this pattern came about and you haven't watched that yet. What is bringing me joy? There are lots of things that are bringing me joy. I have to admit, I have a preteen. The big one is a preteen, and it has not been my favorite stage of parenting so far. But as I said, my husband is gone, and it's like he's recognized that like he needs to step it up and be the helper to me. And so he has been really great. Last night he helped me make dinner, which my husband usually does. And he's kind of been getting more like, I need you to do and be this. And he's like, okay, I can do it. Like, I need you to be the mature one who's not pestering your brother while he pesters you, sort of situation. So it's just been lovely to see that maturity, because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes in this preteen journey, I have maybe cried about the fact that I'm not sure I'm gonna raise a competent adult. And this just gives me a little sparkle of hope. He's also decided that he wants to learn how to mow the yard, which is awesome. And so we did our first little, like, we are participating in No Mow May. So our whole yard is unmowed and budding with dandelions, which I don't love. Creeping Charlie, I keep looking out the window here because we have a patch out here of Creeping Charlie. My mother-in-law is so opposed to it. I kind of think it's pretty. Right now it's all these little purple flowers, and definitely the bumblebees love it, which is the whole point of No Mow May. And then we have violets in our backyard, which I really do love. We mow just one little spot, the spot that Weston goes out. We've noticed he has a little bit of a grass allergy, kind of, maybe. It only happens right in the spring. So we mow the little area where he hangs out the most. Ironically, it gets the most sun, so it grows the fastest. But we're keeping that mowed down so that he has a little place and hopefully his little tummy won't get irritated. So the big one mowed that, and it was neat to see him growing up, and he really enjoyed it, which I love mowing the yard. My husband loves mowing the yard. I used to say we fought over it when we lived in Ohio. I said, I'll mow the front yard and you can mow the backyard. And he's like, that's not fair. Then the neighbors only think you do the work. I was like, yeah, they sure do. So yeah, that's what's bringing me joy. Watching my people grow up. It's hard but wonderful. Um, you guys, I have all sorts of fun new things to share with you for small business. So I told you last time I didn't think I was getting a mug because of the whole mug saga. And then my sister surprised me with a mug. And how great is this mug? Look at that. It's so cool. And I've watched people like make these kind of layered mug things. It's really neat. Um, this sucker holds so much coffee. I love it. And my sister's like, I know, that's why I picked it for you. Because she knows me and how much I love to drink lots of coffee. I love that. She bought this at Kunstler Studios, which is in Des Moines, where I grew up. And it's a super cool pottery. Well, it's got, the last time I went was at Christmas time, and it had several kind of small handmade things, but it's mostly for pottery. And the coolest thing about them, I think, is that they have a studio space that people can rent to make their pottery, and then they can sell it in the shop, which I think is so cool because I think there's a really high threshold for ceramicists as far as like cost. I can only imagine a throwing wheel costs a lot of money. I know a kiln costs a lot of money because when I was teaching, our art teacher's kiln went kaput, and that was a big budget item to get that replaced. So I think it's so cool that they have a spot for artists to go in and create, and then they also help them sell. So my sister got that there. And then she said it just happened that she knows the person who made the mug too. So she just went to Kunstler to find me a handmade mug and then found out that she knows the person. So speckled, thus the Speckled Cloud is the name of the ceramicist's company who made the mug. And I'm gonna link. She works on their little co-op-y thing, so I'm gonna link to her stuff at Kunstler because that appears to be the only place she currently sells through. She has some really fun, whimsical things like little fairy houses and stuff. They're really cute. You should check it out. Kunstler currently on their online shop does not have a lot of mugs, but I will link to that too so that you can like check back in with it and keep an eye on it for later. I told you last time that I purchased a few things for myself from local yarn shop day that I gave to my husband, and he gave me one of them for my birthday, and that is my earrings. These are from Mandrill Works. I always call it Mandrill Metal Works, and then I'm like, why can't I find them? Because that's not their name. So it's a hoop, but then it's this kind of wobbly hoop. It's just so fun. Oh, that's the earring I already have. That's the ear I already have an earring in. So they're just like a little more simple, but like super fun. I love it. I feel like I've been wearing them a little more like with my casual stuff, and I think it's perfect. So that is a local artist. Adrian is the name of the owner of Mandrill Works. I have chatted with her several times. She is lovely, and she has lots of really high quality, gorgeous stuff, all handmade by her. So highly recommend. And then my shirt, which I love, is by the Human Rights Campaign, and I will link to. I think I've linked to the no. I've linked to the shop. I suppose I could link to the shirt too. So I'll add that one as well. So love it. Love the message. Love the colors. Um, it's quite it brings me joy to wear it. So yay. Announcements. I am so excited, you guys, to be teaching at the Tunisian Crochet Summit. It is happening this coming Friday and Saturday, May 10th and May 11th. There are 14 teachers, and you guys were talking top-notch teachers. It is hosted by Sarah, who you know she's great because her name is Sarah, but also she's great, of Ned and Mimi. I am teaching. Nora's Knits is teaching. Detroit Knots. Natalie is teaching. I guess Noreen. Noreen and I used to live close-ish to each other when we lived in Ohio, so we actually met up a couple times in person. She is sweet as can be. Natalie of Detroit Knots, who I've interviewed on my Meet the Maker podcast, which is so much fun. Veronica of Blue Star Crochet, who I've also interviewed, and she was one of our, she offered one of the prizes for the spring shawl along. My brain can work. I apparently need more coffee. And then a whole bunch more other really great teachers. This is going to have all sorts of great information about Tunisian crochet, all the way from like starting out, what do you do, how do you get going? Mine's about like common mistakes and how you fix them, to like things about garments and bigger, more advanced techniques. It's going to be really great. And the amazing thing is it's all free. You can sign up and get your ticket for absolutely free and watch the live broadcasts of them and call it good. If you are like me and you can never commit to sitting down for that long and watching the ones that you want to, there's also a VIP pass, which will give you full access to all of the videos so that you can watch them whenever you want. And that includes the teaching sessions. And then we're going to do some little live sessions as well. And so you'll get both of those. And then everyone who is teaching has contributed to an ebook that is about a whole bunch of like tips and tricks and like more information about the topics we spoke on. And then also a pattern book. So 14 patterns that are all Tunisian crochet. So that's a really amazing deal. So I will put a link in the description below. It's one link for the free ticket and the VIP. So if you sign up for the free ticket, it'll pop up the offer for the VIP. The sooner you register for the VIP, the less expensive it is, if that makes sense. I could try to tell you the exact times that the price goes up, but I don't know for sure. I think from like now until the summit starts, it's one price. As the summit's going on, it's another price. And then when the summit ends, it's another price. So, so check it out, go see. I mean, you might as well sign up for free, right? Because it's free. So see what you can see. And then you can decide when you have all the details about the VIP pass, if that's something that's within your budget and that is of value to you, I guess is the words I'm trying to say. Other than that, I don't have any events going on this month, so I thought it would be really fun to share with you a couple things that I am just making for myself. The first thing, so I'm trying to think when this was, last fall, probably last fall. I was in my local yarn shop. I was chatting with Sarah, my local yarn shop owner, and she was like, oh my gosh, I got in this Pom Pom magazine. There's a super cute sweater in it. I want to show you. And so she showed it to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much fun. It's called the Prairie Skies sweater. I'm going to show you a picture in the magazine that I have here. But then I'm going to go on, I was going to say Pinterest. That's not what I'm thinking. So this is the Prairie Skies sweater. They have it in such a dark yarn that it's really hard to see. But the top is granny squares, and then the bottom, like the body and a little neckline, is all knit. I'm gonna see, they have it on Ravelry. So I'm gonna go and see if I can find a project of something in a lighter color that hopefully shows the design a little better. And I'll put that here. So I'm in the yarn shop. I'm like, yes, please. That sounds like fun. And then my friend Laura was there, and I was like, hey, Laura, make this with me. And so she was like, sure. So we both picked out yarn. She's pretty much done with her sweater, and this is where I'm at. I just blocked my granny squares last night. I was flying on it for a while, and then there were other things that had to be done, and so I stopped. So these are my granny squares. I'm obsessed with this yarn. It's so pretty. This is from Evergreen Fiberworks. Probably should have grabbed the name of this one, but I don't have it right now. It's her DK weight base. And so I have all my squares done. They're all blocking. I think they're pretty much dry. I'll probably pull them up tonight. And then I can seam and start working on the knitted part. For the knitted part of the sweater, there wasn't enough of all one color. And you know me, never too much color, right? So for the body of the sweater, I got this color. And so the top part is in a V, and it's going to be the granny squares in the blue. And then the body of the sweater is going to be this. And then I'm debating, both depending on how much yarn I have left and what I'm feeling like. I think I might do the ribbing at the cuffs and the hem in the blue yarn to like tie it all back in. And then I may do the ribbing at the top of the neck in this, just because it's a contrast. I don't know. We'll have to see what I'm feeling like. I probably have a long time to decide that on. So it's a really fun construction, and I can't wait to get that done. I'm actually going to have lunch with the knitting teacher at the yarn shop and the owner to talk about another sweater design and a collaboration for maybe a class this fall, which would be so fun. So then you may or may not remember that, again, probably last fall. I don't think it was last summer. Maybe I even was like, got on this kick in the middle of the winter. I think it was definitely last year though, and not this year. I went through my yarn and I found some yarn that I really had loved that I hadn't made anything out of. This is Comfy Cotton from Lion Brand. And I just love, it's so fun, the speckles and the colors. I will say, I think I said this when I talked about this last time, but I will say, I saw this yarn on Instagram and I was like, oh, it's so good. And then I couldn't find the colorway just by looking at the picture and then going to Lion Brand's website. I was like, I don't see this color anywhere. What the heck? So then I found a post where they listed the colorway name, and this was the colorway. I have to tell you though, filters, my friend. People brightened this a lot, and that's why I couldn't find it. So this is a little more muted than I would normally do, but I still think it's going to be a really fun summer top. So my plan is that it's just going to be a big, lots of positive ease summer top. And I'm going to make 2 panels on the front and the back. And then I'm going to do like a little short row situation here in the, on the shoulders to open up the neckline and hopefully make it lay nice. But I think I'm pretty much done with the length. So I think I may finish off this panel and start the next panel. And then I really hope I wrote down what I was doing. So we'll see. But I have been itching a little bit to make some garments and play with like shaping and stuff. But I'm not ready for the pressure of having to make it fit everybody else. So I'm just going to make some things for myself and see what that's like. Will I do garments someday? Maybe. I don't know. So that's what I'm up to. I'd love for you to tell me what your making plans are. It would be great to get that uh, top that I'm just making up done for the summer because it would be great to wear in the summer. So that's what I've got going on. Let's talk about some questions. If you have a question, there's a link in the show notes below. I would love for you to drop your question there. It helps me stay all organized so that I can make sure I answer as many of the questions as I can. Oh, also sign up for my email list. If you don't want to miss out on any of the things going on, sales, new patterns, all of those things, I often talk about a lot of them here, but I really don't want you to miss out. So there's a link in the show notes also to sign up for my email list. Without further ado, let's get on to questions. Question number 1. I'm gonna move this a little closer to myself. Now that I've moved some of the things off of my little table here. I have a table that's like this big that's sitting here. It never holds all my stuff. Okay. Summer craft markets. What are some unique ideas of things to sell? I sell hats and accessories in winter, but will people want to buy those in the summer? I probably should have thought this through a bit more before I signed up for my first summer market. Help! That totally sounds like something I would do. I either like overthink it or completely throw caution to the wind and dive into something without having thought it through at all. So here are my 2 cents. I have thought on your behalf. A, I am not a craft market connoisseur. So this is coming just from maybe, I guess I should say, I don't sell at craft markets. I love me a good craft market to go shop at, though. Yes, please. So here are my 2 cents based on what I think would be fun to purchase at a summer craft show, and what I have seen. Um, yeah, it's my 2 cents. So, A, no, I don't think people want hats uh, at summer craft shows. Every summer craft show I have been to, and maybe it's just because of where I live, I have been dying of heat, and nothing sounds less appealing to me than buying something hot. So I would say leave the hats and the cowls and the mittens and all that stuff. Leave those for winter craft markets. I also think, and again, maybe this is just the place that I live. I live very north-ish. And so by the time summer comes around, we are so sick of winter, we don't want to think about it because our winter is long. So here are my 2 cents and 30 ideas of things that you could sell at a summer craft market that I think would be really awesome. That if I didn't crochet myself, I would be all in on. And even if I did crochet myself, some of these I would totally be willing to just purchase from somebody else rather than making them myself because they're not my jam. So, I'm lost. I just like froze there for a second. Okay, so I think anything you can make, if you're comfortable, and if you're not comfortable, I think you should get comfortable. Anything you can make with crochet thread is a winner. And here's why. I think that even people who crochet will see things with crochet thread and be impressed and won't want to make them themselves. So, so if you can make them, then even crocheters will purchase those from you. So, earrings, bracelets, bookmarks, hair bows. So I'm going to give you a couple resources of patterns. Veronica, who I mentioned before, has the most gorgeous bookmark. It's not your typical like flat bookmark though. It's one of those ones that's I can make a triangle, and you like slip it over the corner of the pages, and it's really lacy and pretty. And I don't know what hers is made out of, if it's made out of fingering weight yarn or if it's made out of thread, but I bet you could make it out of thread. And I bet even if it's made out of fingering weight yarn, you could still make it out of fingering weight yarn and sell it. It's so cute. My friend Bonnie of Woodland Stitchcraft has a whole, I think she has a pattern that has like 5 bows in it. They are all so cute. I think bows are very big right now. I think moms always want to buy bows for their little girls, no matter what the style is. And Bonnie has some of the cutest stinging bows. And then she has some videos of how to modify those bows to do like make it a back to school bow, make it a 4th of July bow. So cute. Oh, that reminds me, I was going to say before I went into this spiel that even if you are not a craft market person, 2 things. 1, great handmade summer gift ideas come in here. 2, leave in the comments what you think people would be down with at summer craft markets. So back it up. I think wine glass charms would be super cute. My friend Amber of Amber Bliss This has quite a few little, I think they're earrings, but I think if you made them, she had an earring. What did she make it out of? Because then I made it out of thread and I made them into stitch markers. There was a pine cone and a pumpkin and an acorn. And I know those are very fall themed, but I think if you look through her stuff, she has other things like some cute little flower ones, and you could put them on, make them into wine glass charms so that people could, they hook them onto the bottom of their wine glass so you know whose is whose. That would be super cute. You could absolutely make them into stitch markers. That would be another thing that could be great for crafters. Ice cream cozies. So you can take a cup cozy, or there are specific ice cream cozy patterns out there, but you can take a cup cozy and make it bigger so that it fits over the little pints of ice cream. That's a great summer thing. Popsicle cozies, there are all sorts of little cute ones. The other thing about these suggestions that I'm giving is that they are going to be quick, and so they're going to be good for profit, I think. Small amount of supplies, quick to make once you start getting, knocking them out. And I think they'll be great for summer. My other suggestion is my friend Chalia of Chalia's Crochet, maybe? I'll link it below. She has, I think, some plant holders that look like macrame, but they're crocheted. I think those would be great to sell. Even little plant pouches, like they have those like little envelope-y things that you put like an airplane plant in. Airplane? No. An air plant? I don't know. The ones that don't need a bunch of soil and stuff. You just have to like spritz them with water every once in a while. That would be super cute. I think that the obvious suggestion is to do amigurumi. However, I don't disagree with that. I think you could do really cute little stuffed animals. I think you could do keychains. I think you could do like, I don't know what they're called. Things you could hang from like your rearview mirror. Car decorations, I guess. Those could all be fun and unique things. You could absolutely do some amigurumi. However, I think if you end up at a craft fair with someone else who has crochet, that's what they're going to be doing. So I tried to like stay away from that a little bit and give you some other suggestions that will hopefully be helpful. So, You could do bigger things like wall hangings and pillows, steering wheel covers, um, big things like that. But again, I think the smaller things are where your time and profit is best. So that's just the business person in me saying, like, if you're going to spend 3 hours making a pillow, the likelihood that you're going to sell it for enough to make back your money and pay yourself, which you should be, not just saying, like, oh, it cost me 10 cents to make these earrings, I'm going to sell them for $5. Friends, I really don't do it much anymore. When people ask me if I make earrings to sell, I usually pass them on to some testers that I've had in the past that I know sell finished items. But when I sold my earrings that I crochet, no less than $25 a pair. Y'all, you deserve it. And people don't want to make them. They are willing to pay that much. When you, whoo, climbing up on my soapbox here, when you devalue your own work by making it super inexpensive, others think it's not quality. I sell my earrings for $25 a pair and had no trouble. There was a lady who was like, do you sell your earrings? And I was like, this was a few years ago. It's like, no, I don't want to. And so I was like, here's the thing, just give her a price that's worth it to you. So I quoted what I thought was an outrageous price, $25 for a pair of crocheted earrings. I thought if she wants them for that, I'm willing to make them. Do you know what she said to me? I'll take 4. I am not joking. I made that lady 4 pairs of crocheted earrings at $25 a piece. So yeah. I think it used to be thought that people that came to farmers markets were cheap. They're not. They're not. So don't cheapen yourself. Rant complete. Like I said, I would love if you as a viewer would drop a comment below, or 2 or 3, suggesting things that you think would be fun to see at craft shows and farmers markets this summer that you would purchase from somebody even though you crochet yourself. Yeah, give your 2 cents. We'd love to hear. All right. Question number 2. There was just a big thud in the living room. I think it was Weston. I hope he didn't knock something over. Okay. This question is a real mystery, and it took me a while to figure out the answer. So as I read this, you think yourself, what could be the problem here, and see if you come up with the same solution I do. And then let me know in the comments. I bought a crochet pattern and it's got my head spinning. I'm following the instructions, but my project is turning out way bigger. There are also a few abbreviations and terms that I've never seen before, like HTR, half treble crochet. Help! What do you think? Hmm? 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 I get that this is not fair because I had a lot longer to think about it than you did. But I have come up with the solution that I think is correct, and I hope this is helpful. It kind of like bing came to me this weekend when I was teaching my Learn to Crochet class, because I tell my Learn to Crochet class about this problem, and that is the difference between US and UK terms. Okay, there are generally 2 languages when it comes to crochet. There are US crochet terms and UK crochet terms. I don't know if it's because I am, like many Americans, egocentric, or if it's just where I look for patterns, but I think there's generally speaking, there's a larger amount of US term patterns. I don't know why. But there are also UK patterns out there, and just like American English, and British English, they are similar enough to be confusing. And so I think that's the issue here. So if you learned one or the other, reading a pattern in the opposite is going to be confusing because there is some overlap in what the terms are, but they don't mean the same thing in each of the two styles. So let me give you some examples. In US, we say slip stitch. In UK, that's called a single crochet. So if you're reading a pattern that says SC, 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 as in single crochet, and you single crochet, okay, let's do this correctly, Sarah. If you see a pattern and it says SC5 and you single crochet 5, but what they meant was slip stitch 5, that looks totally different, right? In US terms, it's called a single crochet. In UK terms, it's called a double crochet. So again, if you saw DC 10 and you double crocheted 10, that's not what they mean. Okay. So a half double crochet in US terms is a half treble in UK terms. So the issue is you've come up to a pattern that has UK terms and not US terms. So a couple of solutions to this are you double check before you purchase. On Ravelry, they ask you to specify whether you're using US or UK terms. So in like the pattern information where it has like the yarn that they used and what type of pattern it is and what crochet hook they use, it should be noted if they're US or UK terms. I also put it in my description just in case people don't see that. But if you really love this pattern, what you could do is you could translate it. So you could look at, there are all sorts of charts out there. If you just Google US crochet terms versus UK, you'll get a whole chart of what the terms mean in comparison to each other. So you could go through and find all of the double crochets and cross them out and write SC instead and kind of translate the whole pattern in that way so that you can still make the pattern, but you're not always doing the conversion in your brain. Because to me, that would be really hard. What I would want to do is I would want to say, okay, UK term, double crochet, American term, single crochet, and then go through and find all the double crochets and just be focused on that one thing and translate those. And then say half double crochet is a half treble, which might be easier to just remember because they both have half in them. But then go through and just change all of those so that you know. So that's where I think you're at, and that's what I think you could do to solve your problem. So it's definitely confusion because, like I said, even like in the languages of American English and British English, there are some similarities that would make you think, well, I know that, until you start catching things that you're like, wait, what? And then you realize that, oh, they are a little different. They are different. And so it's not just a simple, like, I know one, so I know the other sort of situation. So there you go. I hope that helps. I hope you either translate your pattern and have great success, or you go find something similar in US terms. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to remind you to like this video, subscribe. I would be so honored if you would share it with a friend. Sign up for my newsletter and have a marvelous week. I hope you're able to get outside some. You guys, I told you last week that my oldest and I went out and like cleaned up the front yard. One of the things we did was we have Russian sage, which let me tell you, I swear, the people who lived here before, and probably even the people who lived here before them, they were like, mildly invasive, yes, please. This Russian sage is out of control. So I I told you last time, I keep things up in the winter and the birds love the Russian sage. They'll come, the little teeny birds will come all winter long and eat the little seeds off of it. So we just cut that down, and underneath that was some tulips. They popped up, and now that they had sunshine and they weren't covered by the Russian sage, they bloomed. They were gorgeous. I was just about, I put off taking pictures of them, and I should not, because one night we have a lot of deer in our area, and I think it was the deer that did it. One night, something came and ate the tops off of all of the tulips. And like we have just a few, but we have a neighbor across the street who has a whole bunch. And that thing, whatever it was, whether it was like a whole herd of deer or like a starving raccoon, they ate all of them, all of mine, all of my neighbors. I'm glad they at least ate them, because one year my mother in law had planted all of these really pretty tulips and something came off and just bit the tops off of all of them and let them fall on the ground. It was kind of a jerk thing to do. Not that I'm giving intent to a wild animal, I get that, but at least they were nourished by them because they're gone. Whatever it was actually ate them. So I hope you're able to get outside. Enjoy the things around you before something eats it. Have a great week and a happy crafting.